Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and today I'm going to share with you my experience shooting the MKZ from MK Archery. I shot this bow at the Vegas shoot, so I'm going to be flipping back from after the shoot here now, back at Short Shot HQ, and I'm going to be going to clips from me actually shooting it in the moment from the Vegas shoot. And I'm just going to go talk through. You're going to see the clip, and then I'm going to further explain it, because now I've had some time to really sit and reflect and think about this particular riser and limb setup. And I just want to share my this experience with you. There'll be links to this riser in the description at MK Archery, and I'll even have one for Lancaster because I believe they do sell it there. That way you can get some idea on price if it's something that you're considering buying. So with that, let's get started. And today I'm going to be testing out the MKZ by MK Archery. The color I'm shooting of this riser is the sky blue. The cool thing is that I'm using all of my attachments that I own. So the rest, the clicker, the sight, the stabilizer, the string is mine, and the limbs are mine. They're actually the limbs from my MK10, and that's the black bow that you normally see me shooting in my videos. Just to clarify, I'm not sponsored to do this video or anything like that, and I'm saying it in this video because you already know that I shoot MK products, so I just want to make it clear they do not sponsor me whatsoever. I don't get paid to do this. I'm just very interested in trying out this riser since they no longer make the MK10. Alright, and the first part there, I was super excited about this. I had this riser for 24 hours, probably a little bit over, and I just got to put all my stuff on it. Which was really great. I got to make sure everything was aligned and everything was set up nice, and it was just really comfy. Not that the other companies that let me shoot their bows, other brands that let me shoot their bows, it's not like they didn't do a good job. They did a great job, but MK definitely took the cake on this one. They were just like, here you go, and then I got to go to town on it from there, and I felt like that at least allowed me to make sure that it was going to be set up how I like it, and that I could get at least the cleanest experience. Because when you have like other odds and ends from like other bows and things you don't normally shoot, sometimes you get those little experiences mixed in. So it was nice to have this really nice fresh experience. The only thing that changed on this whole setup was the riser itself. So that was like the only thing I was experiencing that was actually different, and I was really excited about that. Now, I did already shoot some arrows through this bow yesterday, and I really enjoyed it, but I didn't really have proper time to make a video to share with you guys, so this won't be my first shot through this riser, but my first shot, I was very happy with it, and it felt very much like my MKX10. The nice thing is I get the same kind of response from this bow as I do the X10. It is a bit quicker, and for some reason this riser, I guess because of I get more narrowness of the grip, it just, I don't know, lets my hands get in there better. They feel pretty comfortable, and then the bow just jumps out so cleanly from my hand when I shoot, and it's really nice. Alright, so just to cover on the quickness of the bow, it was both the bow itself, it reacted very quickly once I released. I feel like the throat of the grip on that riser is narrower than the throat of the grip on my MKX10, because the bow has this really natural and nice reaction of just popping it out of your hand so easily, so cleanly, and I was really impressed with that. It really helped make like the whole shot feel like one continuous, like dance, one continuous piece. It was a continuous shot. I feel like when I shoot some other bows, the shot is a little more broken up. Like you draw back, you anchor, and then when you shoot, and then the bow reacts. But I don't know, it seems a bit disconnected. For this riser, for me at least, I felt very connected to the entire shot and through the entire shot process. And I felt like the bow responded really well to my shooting, which was nice. And I feel like it has to do something with maybe the geometry of the riser. And this might be a little bit straighter of a riser, at least I'm thinking it's a little straighter of a riser than the X10. And then at the same point in time, I think the narrowness of the grip, that is also helping it pop out of my hand better, and just how my hand sits in that. But really interesting. I think that's something definitely to consider, and it's definitely like an exciting point for me on this riser, because it's something that my bow currently doesn't offer, and it's kind of filling that void, and it kind of makes me want that characteristic in a riser now. Let's get into some more though. Still really liking how it jumps out. The draw process of this riser, it matches the X10 spot on. It's nice and smooth. It's not ultra smooth like when I pull back the TFTG, but it's smoother than all the other bows I've shot out there. And then it just like waits for your command to shoot it. It's not like it doesn't want to shoot, but it's almost like waiting for you to tell it, okay, it's time to shoot now, bow. And then it does it with, everything it's got. But it's not driving super hard where you feel like it's gonna like rip your arm out and you're gonna like go down to the target with it. It's still a nice, mellow, smooth, driving forward of that arrow, but you get a nice response out of it. It's a bit hard to explain, but it's about the best I can do at the moment. Alright, so there was a lot of information right there, and let's break it down just a little bit. So limb-wise, those are my limbs, like I said before. Of course, that doesn't mean that it should be different for anybody else. MK Veracity Limbs should be the same for everybody, especially if you're shooting the same length as me. Poundage might differ, but anyway, same feel the entire time. It was like drawing back my MKX10, which I was super excited about because I like the feel of my MKX10. Again, I said definitely not as smooth as the NSG limbs with the TFTG, but it's still the smoothest out there on a non-carbon, non-graphene setup, and that was really refreshing. So I'm glad MK was able to keep those characteristics without changing that, because I think that's a really important, it's a vital piece of their success and of the X10's risers success, and I like how they translated that into the MKZ. With the whole like the bow waiting for your command, I get some of that on my MKX10, but for the MKZ, this bow, it really does. It works. It works with you so much, and it's really unique in that aspect. The Hoyt Formula X is kinda, sorta. They're working on that. I can kind of feel it, but with the Z, it's wild to be able to draw back this bow. It draws back so smooth. You anchor, and then it's just sitting there. It's just holding there, like for you, with you, like together. You're a team. And then when you actually make that release, it's like, all right, we're going, and it goes, but it doesn't go. It's not a harsh reaction. It doesn't react to your release harshly. It just accelerates, but it's not brutal. It's pretty wild, and at this point in time, I would say it's pretty special because I have yet to shoot another riser and limb, like another bow setup that actually matches that kind of feeling. And maybe it's just my experience, but I would hope others get the same experience, because that's something that I would love to have everybody be able to experience. A riser and limb setup that just works so well together, and then together with the archer. And I think that was pretty special. Some other things I want to point out on this riser, and I'm assuming, even though this is a demo bow, because it's from their booth, this should be the same thing you get when you actually purchase the riser. They actually have markings on the limb bolts themselves. So if you're making turns, so you need to add like a full turn to your limb bolt, they actually have a line indicating, where I guess like a starting point is. Like, so you can start at say 12 o'clock with this little white line up here, and then you can go halfway and go to 6 o'clock. Another thing that's nice about the limb bolts on this, they've really refined it from the X10. The X10 itself, it had a pretty plain limb bolt. It did its job, which was great, but they really added a little bit more style to the limb bolt on the Z, which is really nice. It also looks like the limb adjustment system is very much the same as the X10 was. I did compare them side by side to be 100% sure, but it should still run on shims. Very standard, works great for me. Actually, aligning the limbs up on this bow, I didn't even have to make any adjustments. Everything is spot on straight from the get-go. So that means my limbs are good and the riser was good, and it runs straight all the way through the stabilizer, so super happy with that. Other than that, you have pretty standard accessory attachments. You got one behind the riser. These aren't threaded back here, but that's all right. Sometimes it's nice to have extras. We have one up top and we have one down below. So basically your average amount of add-on spaces for extra weights or dampeners or whatever suits your fancy. So I'm going to get back to shooting this now, because I'm actually having a very good time with it. So as you heard, one of the more, I guess we consider it a negative of the riser is the lack of attachment points. It has a very standard amount, which I personally think is fine. I really don't use that many anymore. In the past, I used more of the mounting points. I would put dampeners and stuff on it. But for me, at this point, I don't find them that necessary. I do like the top weight on the top limb, or in that area, because I think it does help out my shooting there. Other than that, though, they could do to add some more, or at least make where the set screws are for the limb bolts, maybe make that threaded, or put a bolt above that. I don't know, just to add a little bit more flexibility to it. I know some riser brands are adding a lot of them because they're trying to get both the bare bow market and just the irregular Olympic recurve market at the same time with one riser. And I don't think MK is really interested in that. They're just making Olympic recurve risers. And if they do bare bow in the future, not saying they are, but if they were, I'm sure they would just have one that's more specialized for that, which is probably the way to go. Other than that, just some basic stuff. Limb bolts, I do like the improvement on them. It does make my old ones on the MKX10 look really plain. The Z's bolts are definitely fancier. And, just overall aesthetically, I felt like it was a very, it was pleasing to the eyes, the riser. It was nice to look at. It didn't, make it cringe or anything. It's, looks like a finely crafted, piece of metal, and really I feel like it's at the point where you don't really look at it as it's a riser. Some people manufacture things and they really just look like they barely chiseled it out of a piece of metal. This has a life to it. It has personality. It looks like a piece of art, but at the same point in time, it's super functional. I don't know. It's like an exotic car in a way. except that you can actually drive it at full speed. You can shoot those arrows as fast as you like and as high as poundage as you like. You don't have to worry about getting tickets. All right, on to the next section. Let's see what else I have to say. All right, more on the grip as well. Since it's a very important part of the bow, I was actually talking to Jaeger, and it sounds like they actually have at least grips either in the works or a few grips for the MKZ, which is pretty cool. Additionally, about the grip, I can really easily put putty on this grip. It feels like it's the same like wood as the MKX10, and I know the putty sticks really well to that. It also feels pretty premium. It feels nicely crafted. And for me, I'm just going to stick a little putty probably up here so that the top of my thumb fits a little bit better, and I can kind of like index it easier into the grip itself, and that way I can be more consistent in my hand placement. Other than that, I really do like the design. It flows very nicely. It's a little more closed in some ways than the X10. Some of the openings, of course, the one up here and down here are actually quite elongated, but some of the ones in the middle of the riser are actually smaller on the Z than they are on the X10. But overall, it's got a fantastic look, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm actually going to go back and shoot some more because I'm having a blast. And I'll have a link to MK's site if anybody's interested, and probably Lancaster too, because I believe they carry this riser if you want a price. Hopefully I have some extra money laying around and I can actually pick one up, but we'll see. Alright, and of course, I end up repeating some of the things I just said in the last segment. Obviously, I was on the same page in Vegas as I am now, to a degree. A little bit of refinement in there. Again, more about the grip and what I would do with it if I actually owned that riser. And with that, I currently do not own that riser. Maybe in the future. We'll see how the finances go. Outdoor season is starting back up for me, so there's hotel, car, airfare, and registration fee. Plus, I do need some more arrows to shoot, so that's a lot of expenses, and I have about 6 of those tournaments to do this year or so. Might be more than that, not counting local ones. So yeah, I probably won't be picking up a riser, but who knows? We will see. I really did enjoy it. I shot that riser for several hours over the course of me, holding on to it and setting it up. Setting up was easy, by the way. I know I covered it before, but really slapped the limbs in, put the string on. I had everything else already on. Threw some biter blocks on, and everything just lined up perfectly. I didn't have to touch a thing, and that was really convenient, and that's honestly been my experience with both sets of my MK limbs, the Veracity limbs, and with my MKX10 riser. It's the same thing, and it translated right over into the MKZ. So that was pretty fun. I don't know, maybe in the future I'll get a chance to try out the beta and maybe see. I have a pair of Formula limbs hanging around. It'd be fun to switch between the two and see if there's a noticeable difference. Of course, they're probably pretty heavy, my Formula limbs, because I haven't shot Formula in a very long time. But with that, though, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed me sharing my experience and just some little things that I noticed about this riser. On the wrap-up for it, it's a riser that really, waits for your command. The limbs drew back nice and smooth, but when you make the shot, it goes. It's definitely not sluggish, but at no means is it like a brutal. It's not a hard shooting riser. Everything's very smooth the entire time, but it reacts so well when you actually do make a shot, and it's definitely one of my personal favorites. I don't know about everybody else, but I definitely look forward to seeing what else MK Archery produces. I feel like they're a quality over quantity. They don't put out new limbs. They don't put out new risers every single year. I feel like they make something that's really well made, and then they just go with it, and then they don't put out anything new until they actually find something that improves upon what they've already built. And I don't know, I appreciate that. I do like fresh and new designs, but it's nice to see like a very slow evolution, a very methodical evolution with a whole bunch of R&D that we don't actually see as the consumers on the back end, where they're actually trying out new things. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully they continue to put out some pretty stellar products. If they don't, I'll let you know too, because I'll probably be I'm not the first to find out, but I'll keep you guys in the loop. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. You can follow me also on Instagram at AnthonyArchery720. And as always, happy shooting!